Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Sakura no Mori Dreamers. When last we left off, Shinji finally realized his feelings and we took a trip up to the mountains, alone. Just the two of us. But, yeah, there's nothing going on, right? He's not going to do anything, right? Nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to have to censor anything, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? We're finally there. It's amazing. You didn't get any leg cramps either. I did my best to even my breathing, barely staying on my feet. The student may yet surpass the master. No, honestly, I don't think I could do the same with a city bike. But my master is your dad. Well, you're free to think that if you want. When I finally felt like I could breathe again, I walked to her side. It was nice here, just as it always was, though I'd never seen a single other person here. Madoka did her usual routine and threw a pebble at the swamp. I've not seen much in the way of swamps. I have seen swamp before in real life. It doesn't look like a swamp to me. No good. You just can't do it like you. The pebble I threw skipped on the surface 3 or 4 times. I wasn't really good at this either, but I was better than her. Really nice here when it's warmer. You can hide from the sun in the shade. I like it. I nodded. But this will probably be the last time I come here. It doesn't have to be. Hey, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Ladies first. If you say so. Madoka nodded towards her road bike. My bike, it's kind of for women, but would you take it off my hands? Huh? I mean, yours turned into a wreck, so... But what about you? Are you buying a new one? No, I think I'll quit cycling while I'm in Tokyo. I don't think I'd like it as much as you do, and I don't get in the mood for it alone. It's not the same without you. And that's why you're giving it away? Yeah, why not? Maybe a woman's bike, but it's not pink or anything. You might outgrow it eventually, but it should be fine for now. But I'm just the same. I won't ride if I'm on my own. A cycling buff like you? I'm not that into it. I gave her an awkward smile. I don't think I'll be able to get in the mood without you either. So it'd probably just end up rotting in my garage, even if I took it. I see. The sun's already starting to set. It's because we left so late. It took a while to get here, too. You did your best. Think we should head back? No, wait. I still have something to say. Oh, okay. Madoka turned to me. I gulped. Madoka, I love you. As a girl, Madoka's widened her eyes for a moment and smiled. I see. That's nice. I thought you'd be more surprised. I am. It's the first time a boy confessed to me. And I figured it'd be nice if it turned out like this for a while now, so this wasn't that much of a surprise. Really? For a while now? Yeah. I just realized the other day. I hear girls mature faster than boys. That might be it. Yeah. It was probably girls who became conscious of the difference between the sexes first. I've been thinking of her as a rival forever. Now, it felt so stupid. I had to tell you before you moved. I felt we'd meet again if I did. If we became a couple, you mean? Yeah. sounded quite incredible when put into words. A girl that had always been beside me as a childhood friend would turn into my girlfriend. Yeah, I guess I could use a boyfriend as an excuse to come back here from time to time. Yeah, and I can go to Tokyo too. Madoka's cheeks were somewhat reddish, and it wasn't due to the setting sun. I thought I'd already gotten used to seeing her face long before, but at this moment, she looked incredibly charming. But I don't think you can become a couple just by confessing. Are you coming on to what is it, Shinji? MC-kun? Really? I seized her shoulders. The sensation brought a certain flash of deja vu. What a nice CG. I'm curious about something. His shorts are dreadfully boring. What a dreadfully boring outfit he's got there. Oh well. It doesn't happen very often, but I like my MC-kuns to be in fucking awesome clothing. Oh well. Wow. I didn't expect that. I ended up saying something stupid. I told you girls were more precocious. Having to leave herself, Madoka was probably even more anxious than me, and that difference of feeling was probably what pushed her back harder this time. You won't forget me now, will you? No way. We're a couple now. Yeah. Huh? Why? It's embarrassing. Well, Madoka blushed even harder. She was starting to look almost like a tomato. I might have been the same. Are you going to be okay on your own? I won't get lost. I looked around. I shook my head. I'll probably catch up with you on the way. Or with you anyway. I guess that's true. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes or so. I'll be fine waiting if it's just 5 minutes. I can't relax when you're around now. It was unusual for her to be so embarrassed. I suppose that was proof enough that we were a couple. Got it. I'll be going ahead then. Okay. I looked behind me multiple times as I walked away. Madoka stood in the same place by the swamp, watching me. Yeah, that really doesn't look like a swamp to me. It just looks like a small lake, large pond. Like it's not really swampy to me. Oh well. I'm not going to scream into the microphone. Ah! I let out a cry to the sky as I flew down the hill. This time, my feelings were the polar opposite of the other day. It was a cry of joy. The first girl I had ever loved me back. That would be a nice feeling, I'm sure. Never got that one, though. No, the first... Well, I guess that kind of depends on if you count crushes or not as... fuck it, who cares? Let's not get into the semantics of human emotion and chemical reactions in the brain and what counts as love and like and loss and crushes, or if they count as love or just a fleeting passing fancy or whatever. Okay, and here, this place here, this scene here, I shouldn't even say this scene. I think I got like 2 text boxes, had to get up to go do something, and then continue. And but this is from here. Well, yeah, from here onward, I think it's like 3 or 4 text boxes in. But essentially, it was the beginning of this scene is where I stopped. So, we're basically blind from here on out. Well, this is going to be fun. No good. I can't skip it even once. Madoka continued to throw pebbles at the pond. My face seems to finally cool down. No way. I can't stop giggling. Madoka still seemed unable to contain herself. There was no way she could show it to Shinji. It made me so happy to have him confess to me. Just when did she first feel attracted to him? Shinji said it was the other day, but truth be told, it wasn't that long for Madoka either. She thought of him as someone of the same sex when she was younger too. They weren't that different physically after all. It was probably because of how they totally lost themselves when cycling, which wasn't exactly the most romantic activity. But the difference between the two grew more and more apparent. And when Madoka realized it, she could no longer look at Shinji the same way. It was an odd feeling. Seriously, game. Stop it with the flags. Christ. You're making me paranoid here. Why was she suddenly so interested in a boy that she had already known for ages? His face, expressions, mannerism, voices, words, attitude, smell, everything affected her. It was only a matter of time before she realized it was actually love. But Shinji showed no hint of the same. All he seemed interested in was cycling. There was no reason to rush, so Madoka thought that was fine. They have and always would be together, after all. But the situation with her dad's work changed all of that in an instant. Madoka still planned to keep coming back to Sakura no Mori, but there was no denying that the time she spent together would decrease significantly, and with that, Shinji might start getting friendly with other girls, and that made her extremely anxious. But then, Shinji confessed to her. Now, she was confident they'd be alright even in a long-distance relationship. Not that she had any experience with that, but she was still sure in her heart. I love you, Shinji. A boy that had been with her almost since she was born. She felt like they'd remain together no matter what happened from now on. Shinji. The pond quietly swallowed her words. They called it a pond, but the water here was almost eerily translucent. I don't know what that has to do with a pond, but okay. The evening sun shined through the gaps in the trees, making the surface sparkle. It was beautiful. I think it's about time I should leave too. But just as those words left her lips, who's there? Who are you? She raised her voice, but received no response as the creepy laugh continued. Someone laughing? Or crying? Fun fact, I have mentioned multiple times in pretty much every series that I do, I like running D&D. I played it as well. Tabletop games in general, but I like D&D a lot. There's a creature that I've used before, a couple of times actually, that does something like this. I'm not actually sure if it gives that out on the VNDB page. It might actually, and that might be one of the reasons why it popped in the head. But there's a creature in D&D lore specifically. I don't know if it's just a D&D thing, but I know it from D&D that does that. So yeah, that's fun. It was beyond disturbing either way. It felt like someone was making her listen to him on purpose, but she had no idea why. Madoka looked around, searching for whoever the voice belonged to. But she would soon grow to regret doing that instead of instantly running away. God damn it. Flags, please. But yeah, I didn't get to the laughing. Or I might have just got past the laughing and then had to get up to do something and was pissy about it. And yeah. And I had to go and get up and do multiple things and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'm completely have no idea what's going, well, I mostly have no idea what's going to happen after this point on. Let's say that. I did read not a spoilery, but I did read the spoiler tags, and I did read, not a super in-depth, but a decently in-depth description of the game. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, no, I did read that. Okay. When she finally spotted it, the silhouette was already upon her. Kya! The impact swept Madoka's slender body off its feet. When she came to her senses, she realized she was already partially submerged in the water. Someone pushed me into the pond? Thanks to her quick thinking, she managed to avoid inhaling it. That could have made her instantly lose consciousness, but her anxiety over the current situation made it hard for her to hold her breath. Madoka did everything she could to stand up, but couldn't. Someone was on top of her, and their hand was on her throat. That person was trying to kill her. A primal fear rose from the pit of her stomach. She'd never felt such a clear and overwhelming emotion before. Suffocating. Stop. Her body started to sound the warning bells for oxygen deprivation. Her head began to ache. Her lungs felt like they were tearing themselves apart from the rival muscle stopping and forcing her to breathe. The water was shallow. She just needed to raise her head a little to be able to catch her breath, but she couldn't move a muscle to do so. The person strangling her strengthened their grip. If this goes on... Oh, we have a choice. I guess that means I should save, because I like to save at choices. Why is my phone not unlocking? Please unlock. Thank you. Yeah, I have not flowchart, but a route guide on my phone, and I forgot to open it. But yeah, we're gonna do a thing. Let's see. I guess I should try to go for this ending first. Okay. I guess I'll just go in order as what the thing I have is. We're gonna kick our legs up. After having spent most of her life cycling, she was confident in the strength of her legs, except the person had their weight on her knees, making it impossible for her to move them in that position. Okay. We're going to... Oh. This isn't even really a choice. Okay. Scratch their face. I do like that choice box. It does look pretty cool. She threw her hands forward to scratch at her assailant's face. But it seemed like she couldn't quite bolster enough strength, and the person easily dodged her swing. And, well, yeah, I really like this choice box. As opposed to just popping up two choices, like, on a thing. I like that. That's cool. I like that. It also is a very old Windows kind of feel to it, but that could just be because I was messing around with old versions of Windows recently. So we'll not think about that too much. But yeah, I like that. That's nice. Force their hands away. She gathered what little of her strength remained and tried to force her assailant's hands away from her throat. But with an iron grip, they held firm, not budging an inch despite her best efforts. She dug her nails into the person's skin, but not even that had any effect. With no options left, Madoka started to give in to the darkness. But in that moment, she realized something, though it may just be a hallucination from her lack of oxygen. I'll protect you, Madoka. Shinji will come. I know it. I'm certain. Because Shinji, you've always been there, standing at my side, thinking of me, so I know. so I know. Huh? Madoka said she'd catch up with me. I was so lost in my thoughts that I didn't realize she wasn't beside me until I got all the way home. I mean, I was even screaming into the sky. Good thing there were no other people on the mountain path. Did we somehow pass each other without noticing? I looked up at her house and the lights in her still weren't on in her room. Well, there was no way she could get lost on a road we've traveled hundreds of times. I wouldn't leave somebody like that. I don't know. I know some people are different, but I don't typically, even if somebody tells me to, if it's in like that sort of situation, I wouldn't leave them. I would just, just go and I'll catch up to you. Okay. And I would probably go and wait, maybe out of earshot where I can walk back to easily, or say, because they rode bikes there, I'd go wait next to the bikes or something like that. I don't know. I'm back. Welcome home. Oh, did something good happen? You're smiling like a Cheshire cat. Huh? Really? I tried acting dumb, but even I could hear a smile in my voice. Really? It's nothing much. I took a shower and sat down at the table. It was already time for dinner. Let's dig in. Thank you for the food. Munch, munch, delicious. What happened? That's just my usual Hamburg steak. Well, it feels extra delicious today. Thanks. Glad to see you finally cheered up, Shinji. Eh? You were totally out of it after Madoka revealed she'd be moving out. Yeah. Thanks, Hatsune. But I'm alright now. Huh? Madoka's window remained dark even after we finished dinner. I felt a sliver of anxiety for a moment, but my blissful elation quickly pushed it away. Well, she'll be moving out tomorrow. Maybe she suddenly remembered something she was missing and went out shopping. Rather than that, I wanted to savor this moment. It reminded me of sucking a lemon drop, but it was a lot sweeter than that, and it didn't disappear nearly as fast. Yeah, I never got that. Kissing never tasted like lemons to me. So that's always like, I don't know. I also heard cherry, and I never did that one as well. Although I did hear lemon more than cherry. So, who knows? But it didn't taste like it. I mean, it tasted like, I don't know how to describe it. If you know what saliva tastes like, it tastes like skin and saliva. If they're wearing chapstick, I don't know. Maybe it's just my own weird not tasting things like that. But I mean, I like to cook things. I have a pretty decent idea of how things taste. So, but I don't know. I might be overthinking this, and I'm also kind of tired. So, I can't quite find the words to put in what I'm talking about. Or maybe this was more like a snowball of happiness that rolled down a mountain slope, getting bigger and bigger with each revolution. We kissed. I never thought of kissing a girl before, and I'd never dared to imagine doing it with my childhood friend. I'd have likely thought the very idea was some sort of joke, but now I couldn't think of doing it with anyone but Madoka, who's my girlfriend now. No one else. We're a couple now. Yeah, I've got to find that part-time job after all. I'll start it as soon as the new semester starts. I'd save not for a road bike, but instead for funds to travel to Tokyo. Maybe I should buy a camera too. It'll probably help for communicating over long distances. When does this take place? Because the camera phones have been a thing for a while, so I'm just... Yeah, well. Then... I jumped out of bed in response to the violent knocking on the door. What? Shinji? Miss Miyako? What happened? She looked very tense. See, Madoka hasn't come home yet. Huh? I hurried downstairs to find Madoka's parents there. The two looked like ghosts. You went cycling today, is that correct? Madoka's dad started with no introductory remarks. Yes? Can you tell me about it in more detail? Like what? I think you're the last person who's seen her. I tried processing the information, but Madoka's dad continued. Where did you two go? To the marsh. The marsh? There's a small path leading to it from the highway in Mibukayama. Mibukayama. And then? Then I parroted his words. What happened? You didn't return together, did you? I told him Madoka wanted to stay for longer. It sounded kind of fishy without giving the reason, but the two didn't push me for it. We all fell silent for a few moments. Okay, let's go there right away. Wait, I think we should call the police first. The police? I gave them puzzled looks. Everyone in the room regarded me with somewhat peculiar, sympathetic eyes. Yeah. Wait, why the police? Madoka's mother took out her cell phone and went outside, while Madoka's dad turned to me. It's been almost 4 hours since you split up. We haven't heard from her since. And we can't get through to her phone either. Something happened to her. I think there's no room for doubt anymore. He looked like he was in severe pain. Something... What exactly? What could have possibly happened to her? I was confused and unable to put one and one together. They'll be here right away. All right. Heavy silence took over the room as we waited for the police. I kept thinking of how we split up. The joy of having our feelings requited. The sensation of our lips touching. Those memories were so real I felt like I could literally touch them just moments before. But they felt vague and misty now, no matter how hard I concentrated. Almost as though all of it was some sort of delusion on my part. We headed straight for Mibuk. Is that the same as it was? I thought it was Mibukayama as the police arrived. Not even they knew about the marsh, so I had to lead the way. I'd have gone there either way, so this was lucky in a sense. I was still a kid, but I didn't want to leave my girlfriend's fate completely to the police. The strong flashlights pierced through the mountain darkness. I shouldn't have been out of breath from coming here in a car, but for some reason, I had trouble breathing. My body felt numb as though I had caught a cold, making it hard to walk. What was up with this sensation? It's here. The two policemen began shining their flashlights left, right. The place you were pointing at just now. What is it? Could you return the light over there for a bit? Here? Oh. A circular rim of light shined in the darkness. Madoka's road bike. I heard a bone-chilling sound. In the back of my mind, it seemed I still believed that Madoka would be alright. That this would turn into a funny story we'd laugh about in the future. I clung to that hope. But the sound I'd heard was most likely the undoing of that hope. Let's look at the actual marsh. Okay? A cone of light pierced through the darkness. It stopped and focused on a single location, and everyone let out a scream. Madoka. still can't believe something like that could have happened. My mind refused to accept it even after the funeral. Doka was murdered. My heart broke with the news. I always thought of her as an older sister. It was beyond painful to watch her parents. Her mother kept crying through both the wake and the funeral. Her father, though not crying, but with his eyes bloodshot, looked like he was fighting some inner turmoil through the entire thing. And Shinji, I couldn't even look at him. They were about to move out, so the house next to ours was empty as soon as the funeral ended. They lived next to Shinji's house for as long as I could remember. Their disappearance opened something of a void in my heart, but it was nothing compared to... No good. Shinji's not coming out. That's bad. He might really ruin his health if he doesn't eat. He left his dinner in front of the door. Oops. Yeah. If it's still there by tomorrow morning, we'll have to force it open. Okay. You think you can do that? We've got no choice. Yeah. There's no one besides us who can support him now. I hate whoever did this. I've never felt so much hate in my heart. He destroyed everything. Madoka's family and Shinji's heart. Shinji was probably in love with her. Yeah, I think so too. Do you remember how happy he was on the night before we learned she was killed? Yeah. I think something happened between the two that night. They might have revealed their feelings for each other. But it all ended in... This is too horrible. I feel sorry for Madoka, of course, but my heart sinks when I think of Shinji too. Shinji might not recover from this. That thought terrified me more than anything else. And so I swore in my heart that I'd support my brother from now on. The only problem was whether someone like me would actually be able to help him. And this is where I'm going to end off this episode. Next time, well, I guess all I can really say is that we're going to continue to see the fallout of what just happened. Well, I hope to see you all next time.